Yehovah Eloheinu Svaod, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Please fill me and lead me with the Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema, listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts in mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Hand, behold, nail, behold. Joshua chapter 9. Then all the kings of the west side of the Jordan, in the hills, in the Shephelah, and all along the shore of the great sea that fronts the Lebanon, the Hittite, Emori, Canaanite, Perizi, Hivi, Uvisi, heard what had happened. They joined forces to fight together against Yehoshua and Israel. But when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Yehoshua had done to Jericho and Ai, they developed a clever deception. They made themselves look as if they had been on a long journey by putting on old sacks on their donkeys and taking use of wineskins that had burst and been mended back together. They put on patched sandals on their feet and dressed in worn-out clothes, and took as provisions nothing but dried-up bread that was crumbling to pieces. Then they went to Yehoshua in the camp of Gilgal and said to him and the men of Israel, "We have come from a country far away. Now make a covenant with us." The men of Israel said to the Hivi, "How do we know that you don't live here among us? If you do, we don't want to make a covenant with you." But they answered Yehoshua, "We are your servants." Yehoshua asked, "Who are you, and where do you come from?" They answered him, Your servants have come from a very distant country because of the reputation of Yehovah your God. We have heard reports about him, everything he did in Egypt, and everything he did to the two kings of the Emori across the Jordan, Sihon king of Heshbon, and Og king of Bashan, and Ashtaroth. So our leaders and all the people living in our country said to us, "Take provisions with you for the journey. Go to meet them and say to them, 'We are your servants, and now make a covenant with us.' Here is the bread which we took for our provisions. It was still warm when we took it out of our homes the day we left to come to you. Now look at it. It's dry and turned to crumbs, and these wineskins were new when filled them. But look, now they're torn. Likewise, these clothes of ours and our shoes are worn out because of the very long journey." The men sampled some of their food, but didn't seek the advice of Yehovah. So Yehoshua made peace with them and made a covenant with them to spare their lives, and the leading officials of the community swore to them. But 3 days later, after they had made the covenant with them, they heard that they were their neighbors, that they lived there with them. The people of Israel traveled and arrived at their cities on the third day. Their cities were Gibeon, Kephra, Beroth, Kiriath Yearim. The people of Israel did not attack them because the leading officials of the community had sworn to them by Yehovah, the God of Israel. But all the communities grumbled against the leaders. However, the leaders replied to the whole community, "We have sworn to them by Yehovah, the God of Israel, so we can't touch them. Here is what we will do to them. We will let them live, so that God's anger will not be on us because of the oath we swore to them." Yes, let them live. The leaders continued, "But let them chop wood and draw water for the whole community." That is what the leaders said. Yehoshua summoned them and said to them, "Why have you deceived us by saying, 'We come from a place very far away,' when in fact you are living right here with us? Now you have a curse on you. You will be slaves forever, supplying people to chop wood and draw water for the house of my God." They answered Yehoshua, "It is because we heard the reports that Yehovah your God had ordered his servant Moshe to give you all the land and to destroy all the inhabitants of the land from ahead of you. So we were terrified for our lives on account of you. That's why we did this. Now as you see, we are in your hands. Do to us whatever seems good and right to you. So Yehoshua did exactly that. He saved them from the power of the people of Israel so that they didn't kill them. But he did that same day make them choppers of wood and drawers of water for the community and for the altar of Yahweh in the place where he would choose. And they remain to this day. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading this interesting chapter 9 of Joshua? We can trust that even if all your enemies join forces, it is nothing compared to having Yahweh on your side. Seek the advice of Yahweh, your Elohim. Pray before you make a covenant with anyone. Be careful who you let into your circle, even if they appear poor and hungry and in need. Make peace only when Yahweh instructs you to make peace. Be careful swearing to someone or something by Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel. Aim to speak the truth and to seek truth. How can we love others as Yeshua loves us? We can encourage all to seek the advice of Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel. Bear one another's burdens. We can make peace when Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel, instructs you to make peace. Produce spiritual fruit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, self-control. We'll end with the Aaronic blessing using the name. Yehovah will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehovah will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehovah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and will set in place all you need to be whole and complete.